Hey everyone, Fina here from Fina Reads. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk with you about my 2025 goals, reading-wise, but also for the channel. I don't know if this is a video that you find interesting, but I thought I wanted to share it with you for those of you who want to know where I'm going next year, how I want to approach my reading, how I want to approach my channel. What are the plans? What does Josephine want to do? In the first section of the video, I will talk more about my reading plans, and in the second section, I will talk more about plans that I have for the channel, things that I would like to do. When it comes to which books specifically I want to read, I already put together some videos that you can go check out. I put the link to the playlist down in the description. So this is a bit more broader, more generic, and not which specific book I want to read. Starting with how many books do I want to read? And I'm always struggling with that number because for me, it's not the number of books, but actually the page count that is more important. I read a lot of fantasy sci-fi, so there are a lot of big chunky books that usually also take longer to read than maybe a romance or a thriller. So I'm looking at both, but I'm really focusing more on the page count. And similar to 2024, I'm aiming towards 70 books again. As of today, I'm over that for 2024, but we will talk about that in my wrap-up stats video, whatever. And from a page count perspective, I would like to stick to around 3,000 pages per month on average. It feels that gives me a good number to go for that I find realistic and not overwhelming. It makes sure I'm reading every day, which I do anyway, because I love reading. Surprise, surprise. But it doesn't stress me out, if that makes any sense. So 3,000 pages has worked for me over the last years just fine. So I really don't want to change anything on that. I don't want to force myself to read more. I want to force myself to have fun reading. And that also goes into mood reading territory. I will continue to do TBRs. There are books that I've planned on reading in 2025, like the series that I've talked about before on my channel, but I want to leave space for mood reading because that's something that I missed a little bit this year because I felt like I planned a bit too much of what I want to read every month and didn't leave a whole lot of space for just picking up what I felt like. And that is something that I did in, was it October or November? I'm not 100% sure anymore, where I tried out a TBR game based on Magic the Gathering, and I just put prompts into my TBR, not a specific book for the prompt, but it gave me a little bit of room throughout the month to then find a book that I felt like reading that wasn't already scheduled into my very specific plans, that kind of stuff. The one part that I really enjoyed about 2024 are buddy reads. Specifically in 2024, I joined things like the Bookstrummers and the Chapter Conundrums Thrill Chill Kill Book Club. And I want to continue joining that for the books that I'm interested in. Probably not all of them, but there are other things that other amazing booktubers are planning. There are other fantastic books other booktubers are talking about, and I want to read it together with them. I love these conversations that we're then having on like DMs and whatnot, and just sharing our favorite scenes or, you know, rolling our eyes at what a character has been doing and that kind of stuff. Like really more the community aspect of reading. I want to embrace that more. A big goal that I have for this year is reading my shelf. There has been this read your shelf challenge going around for years now, and I'm definitely at that point where I want to join that. I don't think there are actual like rules to that other than don't buy a shit ton of books. And that's what I really want to focus on. I don't have a number in my head. Like I've been playing around with read 10 books and then you can buy a new one, but it won't work because there are things that will be just coming in or things that I will definitely purchase because it's a continuation of a series, like in a special edition form, that kind of stuff. So for example, I'm subscribed to the Broken Binding subscription. Those obviously are coming in and those I won't count. Also things like Zamil Akhtar will probably start the Kickstarter campaign for Gunmetal Gods Book 3, which is Elder Epoch next year as a special edition. So I definitely want to grab me a copy of that. But when it comes to going to the bookstore and just randomly buying books, even though I really enjoy that, I want to tone it down this year because everything that you're seeing here in the background, well, not everything, but the majority of that is unread, and I need to get shelf space going again. My bookshelves are too full. I have too many unread books. It's driving me crazy. It's getting to a point where I'm getting anxiety because of that. So I want to read more books that I own already. And that goes hand in hand with my other goal is, which is using the library more often. I've discovered Libby this year. I actually didn't know that was an option because, I mean, I had a library card for the library in my town for quite some time, but they have been using Cloud Library and Hoopla, I think is the other one called. And they are okay, those apps. I found some books there, but generally speaking, I never found the book that I wanted to read in that particular moment. And a colleague of mine actually told me that in the neighboring town, you can apply for a library card because it's the same county somehow, whatever. So I got myself a library card and they use Libby. So I can transfer those library books over to my Kindle, which has been a game changer. And I've been using it way more often in the last months. And I want to continue doing that. So I will probably still go to the bookstore, but instead of then buying the book, I'll just throw it into my library app on my wish list. Another item is how I want to continue rating my books. I'm struggling with the 5-star system, and not in the sense of, oh, this is not enough, I need more options type of thing, but the exact opposite. I need less options when it comes to rating my books. Rating is very personal for me. I don't rate based on objective criteria. Personally, I don't think you can truly rate art objectively. Sure, there are things like no grammar issues in the book, right? Or whatever. But for me, reading is like, I'm doing it for fun. I enjoy reading, right? I don't read because I want to find an objectively great book. I want to read because it's fun. Like, reading is fun. Escapism, whatever, for whatever reason you read, it's fun, right? And I want my rating system to reflect that. And I realize that I'm actually really struggling with a 5-star system, where sometimes I'm sitting there like, well, is this a 3-star or is this a 4-star? I don't really know, like, what makes it a 3-star versus a 4-star for me. So I decided, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, what I'm going to do going forward is, 1, I love this book. Sure, it might not be 100% perfect. There might be like whatever grammar issues or things in there, but I truly had fun reading this book. Maybe I yelled out loud, I laughed out loud, something. The next one is I liked it. I still had fun reading the book. I enjoyed the story. There might have been some issues of some sort. Doesn't mean it's a bad book. It just means it's not, I wasn't like, oh my God, overly excited, hair pull out type of excited. I liked it. It was a good book. And then the last one, I'm not 100% sure on the title. Right now I'm going with blah. This book just didn't work for me. And again, it's very personal. So these 3 rating steps are completely personal for me. It doesn't mean that the book per se is bad or that it's garbage or, whatever. It just means it didn't work for me. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't have fun reading it. I think having it narrowed down to 3 options instead of 5, where I'm sometimes like, oh, is it now a 3-star or a 4-star? Or should it be a 3.5-star or a 3.75-star? Listen, guys, if you do that, that's totally fine. It's all up to you how you want to rate your books. I like things simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things. So that's what I'm going with going forward. Now let's talk about the channel itself. I know I never talk about that, but it is something that I look at in the back end, specifically because I had a somewhat weird journey with my channel where this channel was actually used for something completely different at one point, that I then stopped doing, and a year later I rebranded my channel and started doing BookTube, and that actually hurt the channel really bad. So just FYI, if you ever consider doing a BookTube channel, create a new one. Don't use an old channel that has been dormant for some time, that has thousands of subscribers on it. Just don't do it. It's a very frustrating experience, because while it looks like I have a lot of subscribers, I lost hundreds of them. So my analytics, I hated going there because it was always minus 10 subscribers, minus 15 subscribers, minus 100 subscribers. It was very, very frustrating and demotivating. But since August, that has finally turned around now after like a 2-3 year journey of BookTube. And now I'm seeing positive subscriber counts. Smaller numbers, but at least we're going into the right direction. And just also, I enjoy trying to understand how YouTube works and what you can do with the algorithm or not. It's not that I'm, trying all these things and I'm like super deep into it and doing all of the things all the big YouTubers are saying. I mean, I still want this channel to be me and not the YouTube algorithm. So one of the things that I didn't have as a written down goal, but that I in my head had as a goal for 2024 was I do not want to fall under 4,000 subscribers. And that seemed to have worked. So I literally stopped right before I went underneath 4,000 subscribers. The decline stopped and it started to grow again. So my goal for next year is growth. I'm throwing out the number of 5,000 subscribers. I have no idea how realistic this is. To get 1,000 more subscribers within a year, we'll see. It's not a hard number, but it's something I can work towards. And to be honest, I like experimenting with things like that. Playing around with the thumbnails and playing around with the intros and playing around with fancy overlays and all that kind of stuff. I had a lot of fun doing that in the last months, and I want to continue doing that. On a more collaborative perspective, I want to do more collaborations. I've done now 2 booktube recommends type of videos. I love doing this. I love pinging people and asking like, hey, do you want to join me in the collaboration? And then talking with them a little bit back and forth on, oh, what could I submit? You know, how does this work? Blah, 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 blah. So I want to do more of those, probably not one a month, but whenever I have an idea, I will just throw out invites to booktubers where I think it makes sense. And then I hope I can do more collabs like that. The other thing is I love talking, clearly. So I will, be more courageous. I'm a very shy person. I will be more courageous and just ping other people. It's like, hey, I would love to be on your channel because I know a lot of booktubers have these conversational things. I don't know yet if I want to do some of my own, but I might just, put myself out there. Not might, I will put myself out there and just ping other booktubers like, hey, if you're looking for guests, I'm available. Maybe this is kind of the, if you are one of those booktubers who does this, hey. Oh God, this is embarrassing. Moving on. That's it. Those are my goals for 2025, reading-wise and channel-wise. I might do like a half-year check-in and just see how things are going and how I'm progressing towards the goals. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited to have some tangible goals this year and to have something that I can put on paper and can, put some stickers around and some washi tape around and some colors around and then track that towards the new year. Enough rambling, I guess. If you want to see more specific things like what series do I want to tackle in 2025, go check out my 2025 playlist. And then if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you around working on my goals for the number of subscribers. Thank you very much for stopping by, for watching my video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and that I'll see you soon with my next video. Bye!